What if I told you that the single most responsible thing you do every day staying informed is actually making you more anxious, more tired, and completely powerless? It's a paradox, right? We're raised on the belief that knowledge is power, but that's a dangerous myth in the internet age. The more you scroll, the more you know, and the more you realize you can't do a single thing about most of it, turning your phone into a pocket-sized anxiety machine. If you've ever found yourself awake at 3 a.m., your face lit by that tiny, terrible screen, mindlessly flicking through an endless stream of political meltdowns, climate disasters, and general chaos, you're not alone. And here's the kicker. Your lack of self-control isn't the problem. You are being manipulated. That feeling of being trapped, of needing to see the next horrible headline, is the result of a deliberate design, a system built to prey on your brain's most basic survival instincts. In this video, we're diving headfirst into the bizarre culture of doom. We're going to unpack the sneaky psychology that gets us hooked, expose how social media algorithms have become merchants of misery, and figure out what this constant drip of negativity is actually costing our mental health. And by the end, you'll understand the trap so you can finally start to climb out of it. Alright, let's paint a picture. It's way past your bedtime, the room is dark, but your face is lit up by that familiar, eerie glow from your phone. You know you should be sleeping. You have that meeting tomorrow, but your thumb has a mind of its own, just flicking upwards, again and again. Every swipe brings a fresh new hell. A political scandal, a natural disaster, a celebrity doing something questionable, ... You name it. This endless cascade of bad news has you in a chokehold, and honestly, you're not even sure why you're still looking. This, my friend, is what the internet has lovingly dubbed doom. It's the act of compulsively surfing through bleak, negative online news, even though it's making you feel like garbage. Think of it like rubbernecking a car crash, but the crash is the entire planet, and it's happening live, 24/7, right in the palm of your hand. It is a bizarre digital ritual, where we intentionally bathe our brains in a soup of anxiety and despair, all under the guise of staying informed. It wasn't always like this, right? Our parents had the 6 o'clock news and the morning paper. There was a beginning and an end to the daily dose of dread. For us, it's an infinite buffet of awfulness. We've gone from a scheduled, finite delivery of world events to an all-you-can-eat horror show. But the real kicker, the question that keeps us scrolling, is why? What is it about our wiring that makes us actively seek out stuff that messes with our mental health? So, it turns out our brains are kinda hardwired for this stuff. It's not entirely our fault that we get sucked into the vortex of doomscrolling. Deep down, our primal brain is still a caveman, scanning the horizon for saber-toothed tigers. It has a built-in negativity bias, which is a fancy way of saying it pays way more attention to threats than to happy, fluffy things. It's the reason why one critical comment on your post can ruin your day, even if you've got 100 likes. Our brain's default setting is basically, what could go wrong today? On top of that, there's this weird illusion of control we're chasing. We convince ourselves that if we just read one more article, watch one more chaotic video, we'll somehow be prepared. It feels productive, right? Like we're doing our homework on disaster. It's like thinking that if you read every single think piece about the economy, your bank account will magically be safe from inflation. It's a coping mechanism, but let's be real, it's about as effective as trying to stop the rain by shouting at the clouds. And then there's the social angle. The twisted FOMO of bad news. Nobody wants to be the one person in the group chat who asks, wait, what global crisis are we panicking about today? There's this bizarre pressure to be constantly informed, to have an opinion on every single piece of breaking news. It's one thing for our brains to be naturally drawn to the negative, but it's another thing entirely when the very tools we use seem to know this about us, and are designed to exploit it. Now, let's talk about the real puppet master here. The algorithm. That sneaky, invisible bit of code that runs your social media feed isn't just a neutral party. Oh no, it's watching. It sees you pause for half a second longer on a story about a political meltdown, and its little digital brain goes, ew, they like the spicy stuff. Before you know it, your feed, which was once a mix of baby photos and memes, has transformed into a curated playlist of global anxiety. The very design of the endless scroll ensures you never reach a natural stopping point. The system is built on one simple, brutal principle: engagement. And let's be honest, nothing drives engagement like a good old-fashioned dumpster fire. Rage, fear, and controversy get more clicks, comments, and shares then a wholesome video of a cat. The platform doesn't care if you're happy or horrified. It just cares that you're reacting. This creates a gnarly feedback loop where the most inflammatory, anxiety-inducing content gets pushed to the top because outrage is profitable and calm is, well, boring. So you pop onto Twitter or Instagram for a quick 2-minute break, maybe to see what your friends are up to. An hour later, you emerge from a digital rabbit hole, having read 500 comments from strangers arguing about a headline you've already forgotten. These platforms are intentionally designed to be mazes of information overload. It's a system that preys on our brain's weaknesses, but the real damage isn't just wasted time. It's what this constant exposure does to us when we finally put the phone down. So, what's the actual price of admission for this 24/7 horror show? Well, for starters, our collective mental health is getting absolutely wrecked. Constantly bombarding your brain with threats puts your body in a permanent state of high alert, a low-grade fight or flight mode. Your internal alarm system is basically shot. You're not actually in danger, but you feel like you are, all the time. This simmering, constant anxiety leaves you feeling drained, irritable, and just fragile. It's a special kind of exhaustion that comes from carrying the weight of every global crisis in your pocket. This habit also completely warps our perception of reality. If you only eat junk food, you're going to feel like crap. Similarly, if you only consume a diet of bad news, you're going to believe the world is an irredeemable hell. It skews our worldview, making us feel hopeless and powerless. Our grandparents worried about things happening in their own town. We're internalizing every flood, fire, and political feud on the planet, leading to a profound sense of emotional burnout before we've even had our morning coffee. And this digital dread doesn't just stay on the screen. It spills over into everything. It's hard to be present and enjoy a simple dinner with friends when a part of your mind is still chewing on some awful statistic you just scrolled past. This constant stream of negativity makes us more cynical, more withdrawn, and less capable of seeing the good in our own lives. We're living with a permanent internet hangover. So, with our brains and the algorithms working against us, it all feels a bit grim. Are we just supposed to accept this as the new normal? Alright, after that cheery overview, it's easy to feel like we're completely screwed. It feels like the only winning move is not to play to chuck our smartphones into a volcano and go live in a cabin in the woods. But, let's be realistic. Most of us aren't about to start churning our own butter. The good news is that breaking the habit of doomscrolling isn't an all-or-nothing game. It's not about becoming willfully ignorant, but about reclaiming a little bit of control from the technology that's designed to hijack our attention. The antidote to mindless scrolling is, believe it or not, mindful scrolling. It sounds like some new agey nonsense, but it's really just about being intentional. Instead of letting the firehose of bad news blast you in the face whenever you're bored, you choose when to turn the tap on. Think of it like your mental health diet. You wouldn't survive on a diet of only chili cheese fries, so why let your information diet be 100% pure, uncut anxiety? It's about setting boundaries. Honestly, the first step is almost insultingly simple. Just noticing when you're in the zombie scroll mode. Just recognizing, there I go again, down the rabbit hole of despair. Maybe you can try leaving your phone to charge in another room at night, like some kind of ancient boomer wisdom. It's not a magic fix, and the algorithms on social media will fight you every step of the way, but it's a start. It's a small rebellion.